Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name is Lee Honish, and I am joined by the master of disaster, Andrew Labouche, and, of course, the guy in Vegas, Miguel Antonio Barragan. We bring you Fight Net Radio each and every week. First and foremost, let me say to everybody, go to boxingtonight.io. That is our home. If you go through it, we have a news feed that is unlike any other news feed in boxing. If you want to find out what's going on the local news on the boxing scene, that's what we put together. We knew we couldn't write it. We knew we couldn't copy it. We gave you guys something different and unique. Plus about 1 million different ways to listen to the show and follow us, as well as videos from our show, as well as our Facebook feed. More importantly, we have a monthly up-to-date boxing calendar. So please go to boxingtonight.io. When you're on Facebook, we are the #1 source of boxing information on Facebook right now. Literally over 40,000 of you in the last 30 days. Thank you from all three of us. With that said, this is the check-in part where you get to know us each and every week. Let's start with Miguel. How's painting going, Miguel?
Oh, man, it is a pain. Pain is painting. Basically, my pops is in his 30s.
Pain is painting? Hold
yes.
on.
I mean, my pops is in his 70s, right? So his hands can't exactly, grasp and hold. We're not using, the typical rolls and brushes. We're actually using a paint gun. So you kind of have to hold that fucking trigger for a good minute as you give it, long, strokes. So it's hard, and I'm the one that's got to do it, and, my hand wakes up.
So you're stroking for your dad.
Yes, with paint
Are
all
you
over
gonna
the place.
wait? Hold on.
Paint all over the place.
I'm right, Andrew. Right?
Yeah.
I almost can't let this go. If this is your first time listening to Fight Net Radio and that already offended you, my advice, you should probably not listen. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Andrew.
It's quite the adventure, to say the least.
I'm sure it is. Andrew, how is it with you? Is everyone healthy? Is everyone well? You had a touch of the flu for about 5 seconds?
No, I think it was food poisoning. I ate a burrito on the way home from work, and it got me sick for a day. I was sick for 24 hours this week. Took a day off of work and went back to work the day after. So I'm good now. Everyone's good. We are all healthy. It was a great weekend of football.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. That was the Chiefs. What just happened with the Chiefs-Bills game? That was amazing, man. That was amazing what Mahomes just did.
I mean, seriously, all 4 of them coming down to a touchdown, and I, growing up as a Rams fan, being on the verge of being able to go to another playoff game. And by the way, while you're still looking, just so you think, no, Lee, you're making this up. No, I really went to the last game, you fools. There I am at the last game. By the way, that's an Eric Dickerson throwback jersey. That's hardcore.
The Super Bowl's there, too.
Yeah, I know. They will be the first team, if they go all the way, to host and be in the Super Bowl and actually have...
No. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay did it.
Yeah, but there were no fans, so does that really count?
Oh.
Ah.
Guy there. Okay, I see.
Little caveat.
I'm going with the technicality on it.
There you go.
I am beside myself because, if you guys don't know, Killian, who's occasionally on this show as my counterpart, he is a Tampa fan. Literally, I did not see him for 3 quarters, and then he popped out in the 3rd quarter looking at me going, Brady, and then he scurried back into his room where I didn't see him again, right? And... I was sitting there watching this I'm at the office in the studio watching all this, and he scurried out again. Brady, here he comes, 3 touchdowns. And when they won by that field goal, I walked in and I said, it's even more satisfying that they just broke every fan's heart. And if you're wondering, because it's your first time listening to Fight Net Radio, and you think I'm a dick at this moment, you have got nothing prepared for you at this moment. Fight Net Radio is a show about boxing. While we may talk about Francis Ngannou quite a bit today, and we might talk a little MMA, this show is about boxing. It's always been about boxing. We've been doing it roughly since about I think we went mainstream in 2007. I think I did my first really bad recordings in 2006. And we're getting you guys all back. So thank you everybody who's clicked, liked, listened, watched all the videos during Christmas. We apologize for the kind of week and a half off. We're all healthy, and here's how it works. Tell them what they've won, Miguel. Yes, they've won a trip through boxing. Here's how we do it. We rewind to the last time we did a show, and we cover all the stories. And it's three friends talking about boxing, not over the top of each other. That show is called The Boxing Show, and we love those guys. Go listen to it. They talk over themselves. It's a blast. We kind of take turns. We're all friends. I know those guys. They know me. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get started, shall we? Floyd Mayweather and other celebrities getting sued over cryptocurrency. What? Color me surprised. Floyd Mayweather is a subject of a class action lawsuit for a pump and dump. Miguel, you seem to know about pump and dump at this moment. Mm-hmm. Are you surprised, much like yourself, that you're involved in a pump and dump?
No. I like to call pump and dumps ejaculate and evacuate. That's kind of the term that I like to use for those.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm not surprised that Floyd is involved.
Radio.
Yes. Radio.
Thanks, everybody. Click like and subscribe.
Yes.
This is the show
Great
you
show,
want to
guys.
listen to. We're so glad to have you.
But I'm not surprised that it's. I'm not even sure if Lloyd knows what the fuck cryptocurrency is, but it doesn't.
You? Wait, hold on. Do you?
Well, I have. It's decentralized monetary something or
All right,
other.
what's
but,
an NFT, since we're on the topic?
Shit. Good question. That I do not know. I have a small understanding of cryptocurrency. NFT, I still have no idea what that is.
I'm afraid to ask my daughter because I'm afraid she'll explain it to me. Andrew, what the fuck is a pumping? Never mind. Let's just move forward.
I was going to say, there's kids everywhere asking their dad, what's ejaculate?
Dad, what's ejaculate, pump and dump? And why was Miguel talking about paint and spray and stroking? All right, let's get to a real story. We're coming out of the gate hot today, kids. Terence Crawford. This is where we really left off. Terence Crawford.
Wait. Floyd might be in some, well, not real big trouble, but he's going to be in bigger trouble than some of those other celebrities. Floyd's already on probation for this kind of deal. So he's on a probation. He was fined $600,000 before for doing one of these pump and dumps. Is that what you just called it?
I don't know, but I just want to keep calling the show Pump and Dump. Like, seriously, I know that I named the show before we did the show because it's a running joke throughout the show about Dillian Whyte. And trust me, I've got 5 updates about Dillian Whyte getting ass screwed through this whole show. But Pump and Dump is so much funnier. From a comedic, I realize my job is the comedic standpoint. Pump and Dump is fucking funny. I mean, it's seriously funny. Please, Andrew, expand upon it.
Oh, that's just where we're at with the Floyd Mayweather situation. Yeah, he might be in a little bit of hot water here if he gets found guilty on this.
All right. Let's get to a real story because people will like that about us, I think. I don't know what they like about us. In fact, I've been trying to figure that out ever since people started listening to us consistently. Terence Crawford sued Top Rank, and if you're all going, yeah, we know that. Well, we were on hiatus. People were sick and painting and moving, for God's sakes. Terence Crawford sues Top Rank for breach of contracting. Yes, we have an update to the story where, trust me, Bob is making a lot of appearances. And again, if this is your first time listening to the show, we are lucky enough to have Top Rank Bob piped into our show waiting in the wings. And there is so much Top Rank Bob tonight just to hear his quotes. It's almost phenomenal. Let's start off with what is going on from Bob himself, from Terence actually. Because this is boxing, a sport with a checkered history, and because Aram is now dismissed as just a grumpy old white man, Aram continues to make racist and bigoted statements and purposely damage the reputation of black boxers without any consequence. This is generally because the affected boxers who are in long-term contracts with Top Rank fear that if they speak up, they will be replaced on the sideline and not given the opportunity to fight during the life of their deal, which could be 5 to 7 years. Crawford is seeking $10 million By the way, I know they can't see the video, but all of you watching the video, and if you are only listening, go to Boxing Tonight and watch me do the Dr. Evil $1 million, which is way more than he probably deserves. I start with you, Andrew Labshay. Is Terence Crawford entitled to $10 million, or does this motherfucker just not draw?
Yeah, I think Terence Crawford's finding out real fast that his market is going nowhere in the boxing world. This guy became a free agent the end of last year. No one picked him up. DAZN didn't touch him. De La Hoya didn't mention his name, and the PBC obviously has not talked to Terence Crawford. So I think Terence Crawford is kind of lost right now, and he's trying to make up, some money. I don't know where this lawsuit's going, but I don't think it's going to be in a winning favor for Terence.
I turn to the pump and dump expert. Oh, you guys really should go rewatch the video if you're not, because I really like doing the pump and dump expert. Miguel Antonio Barragan, is Terence Crawford entitled to $10 million?
No, and he's not going to get it either. I'm pretty sure that there's something's going to end up happening, some sort of settlement or something that's going to be maybe even out of court, and he's going to get something. It's not going to be anywhere near $10 million, honestly, and it just, I kind of feel for Crawford here. It just feels like he's a floundering fish. He's kind of in between, doesn't have a home kind of deal, and he's kind of just waiting to see who's going to pick him up, in other words. But I don't anticipate him winning this at all. Like, I'm pretty sure, Top Rank and Bob Arum have fucking badass lawyers who are going to defend this shit tooth and nail. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be settled to some degree, and it's going to be out of court or something, and it's going to be far less than $10 million. It'll be a nice, pocket change for Crawford, but I mean, no, absolutely not. $10 million, come on now.
I didn't.
Why do you think he would settle with anything, though, Miguel?
Because of lost time. Because he's like, well, I'm going to get something out of it. Let me go ahead and shoot for the stars. They're going to try to lowball me, and I'll have a nice amount anyway. He already feels like he's missing out on some money. I don't know if $10 million is going to be the number, but at some point he's going to be okay with a lesser number. Be like, all right, that's compensating enough. That's a nice Band-Aid. Something. I'm getting something out of this as opposed to jack shit.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I think Arum goes all the way to court with this. I mean, Arum, not only does he have his lawyers, he has a long history of making a lot of people, different nationalities, rich in this sport. That's why I don't know where the lawsuit has a leg to stand on. Terence Crawford, one of the best fighters in the game. He's on the pound-for-pound ranking. He's been on pay-per-view. He's been to Las Vegas. I mean, there was nothing really more Bob Arum or Top Rank could do for this man to make him a household name. He's just not. And I don't know if you can... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the times that Arum has had issues with fighters in the past, has it been, I don't remember right off the top of my head, but has it been a quote-unquote a racial thing? Like, I know he's been in, with Mikey Garcia and De La Hoya and whatnot, but was it ever brought up pulling the race card the way Crawford is? Because that's kind of where I feel where Arum and his lawyers are gonna be like, oh shit, let's not take it, let's not pull that card. Okay, let me just give you something and we'll call it even. I kind of feel like that's the direction they're going, but I don't remember if any other fighter who tried suing Arum pulled that race card.
Yeah, no, Mikey was about balls. Mikey, he didn't have any balls. That's why he left Top Rank. I'm just playing.
Breaking news, this just in. Mikey has no balls. Which Mikey? Pick one. Pick one. There's been many with Top Rank, so just pick one you don't like. Hey, Jesse Vargas tested positive for COVID. If it's your first time listening to Fight Net Radio, we just call it AIDS because we all think it's bullshit. And by the way, does this photo not make him look like a goddamn psychopath?
Yeah, kind of does. Is he wearing a turtleneck? Is he wearing a Ted Bundy turtleneck?
No. That's a collar.
Oh,
that's clearly a collar, but
Gotcha.
he looks like a psychopath. Is anyone surprised that he's not going to get to fight Beefy, or do we think that this is because they can't sell a fucking ticket? I start with you, Miguel. Sorry, I blew my part. Miguel, we'll start with you.
I mean, it's when we right now, I think by the way, correction, Lee, it's not just AIDS, it's the AIDS. So
The AIDS.
The AIDS. I
AIDS.
think that's going to be an easy, excuse for everybody.
always
It wouldn't surprise me if the tickets are just not fucking selling. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any interest in this whatsoever. I mean, damn, I'm surprised the fight's even fucking gonna take place.
I'm interested.
It's sometime done. Well, I'm sure. But,
I'm a stalker.
yeah, I'm almost positive. I don't remember what arena they're going to do it in, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that tickets are selling, like barely selling, I should say. So yeah, the easy thing is the fucking ads. Huh?
It was Vargas's family and friends. They're the only ones buying tickets to
Andrew, do you have anything more than his friends?
Wasn't it about location? Where was the location of this fight?
Let's see what Eddie said. Despite being well, Jesse tested positive for the AIDS.
There it is. Arizona. You scrolled past it.
Arizona. Yeah, right.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Liam Smith and Jesse Vargas in
Arizona. And he's in Vegas. I know for a fact he lives in Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, he lives here. Yeah.
This is why video works at this moment, so I can shake my head in disbelief. Andrew, do you want to add anything to the AIDS story of the day?
No, I'm actually happy that the COVID hit the training camp and that fight got canceled. We can move on now.
That is so fucking dicky.
fill that date in with the fight that actually boxing fans want to see, and not some gap filler that DAZN is just trying to put in place there.
Oh, they'll run the rest of the card, I'm sure, just without Jesse. Hey, Bob joins the show. Let's see what he has to say about the Crawford lawsuit, shall we? If this is your first time, this is Top Rank Bob. Bud Crawford's lawsuit is frivolous. Fuck him. His vile accusations of racism are reckless and indefensible. I didn't write that. Somebody on my team did. He knows it. His lawyers know it. His mom knows it. His dad knows it. Fuck him. I've spent my entire life as a champion of black boxers. The Negroes. I love them. I have no doubt the court will see Crawford's case as malicious extortion attempt that it is. That's at least what they told me to say. But publicly, the guy can fucking sweep a floor. Let's be fucking serious. I like him around Top Rank. Is anyone surprised that Bob is like, fuck him. Fuck the horse he rode in on. I made as much money as I could. I'm tired of giving the singles speech. And by the way, that's for real. He calls him a single hitter in the terms of baseball. I start with you, Andrew. Are you surprised Bob didn't pop off?
No. Once again, I got to go back. You got to look at the list of people that the man's helped. That's going to come out in the courts. There's really nothing Crawford can stand on here about Bob being racist towards him. It's absurd that he even brought this lawsuit out. I don't know what it's about, except him looking very desperate right now.
To cut it off and see if he can grab a payday. That's really what it is, right? He's going out the door. He's looking to just pop a payday on the way out.
With no evidence, I think Bob Arum's going to countersue and possibly win that one, though, and he'll have to pay all of Bob Arum's court fees. So Terence better have some serious evidence here that he was being put in the back burner because of racism. You better have Bob on audio.
I'm not a racist. I just think that the Negroes should know their place in the ring.
And I would say that's probably not Bob Arum saying that. I just want to put that out there. Terence Crawford might grab this tape and take that to court.
Oh my God, that would be so great.
It's like, this is Bob. This is Top Arum Bob.
And then Bob Arum shows up with the actual video of me doing the voice. Going, it's a fucking guy doing the voice. Jesus Christ, why am I defending this?
It's like the OJ putting on the glove. It's like, oh shit, this is it. Oh no.
If the voice fits, you must acquit. We're now at 2 great titles for this show. This is turning out to be an epic return for Fight Net Radio. Miguel Antonio Barragan. Is Bob Arum, not Top Rank Bob, we know he's a racist, and 122 years old. I fought the Redcoats. Sorry, 200 years old, Bob. What's your take?
this is the only time that I think that I recall, at least in recent memory, of Bob like talking this much smack about his own damn fighter. And I truly don't feel that, race has anything to do with it at this fucking point. Yes, he is an old man. He was born in a different era, but nonetheless, the fighters that he helped make millionaires were, other than whites. So it wasn't like he's holding them down for any specific reason or sort of some sort of systemic racism or anything along those lines. So, to piggyback on what Andrew was saying, like Crawford better come up with something like smoking gun type of deal for him to have as far as evidence behind his claims, because I don't think it's enough. It's enough to scare, be like, oh shit, okay. But I don't know if it's enough to win. That's why I feel like they're probably going to end up like settling out of court or something. But I mean, I don't see, we know, Bob has been around for a very, very long time, but I don't see this being as a race thing. It's just another layer onto the beef that Crawford and Arum have.
All right, hold on. I got to write down pump and dump and dump and Top Rank Bob, racist. I'm keeping track of show titles, even though our next story will take us into the real fun. Yeah, here we go. Bob is everywhere this week. By the way, I would say every other story is Bob fighting with Eddie Hearn. So let's get into it. Top Rank Bob, Bob Arum. If Whyte wants Fury and stops, by the way, it's our lead story. Yes, this is all about Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn fighting again. And now it's not only this fight, they're fighting over Cambosos. Our stories are littered with Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum going back and forth with, Jesus Christ, man, fucking calm down, you old... Well, let's get into it. If he wants to fight and stops messing around, he can get a good payday, and prove that he is a world-class caliber fighter and can fight Fury. We'd like to do the fight. It's a good fight. I mean, what the fuck? He's only worth what he's worth. Whyte should sit down with myself and Frank Warren and work out the deal for a guarantee. And we'll get the show on the road. Come to the table. God damn it. Let's quit screwing around. I broke character on that one. Let's stop screwing around. I don't know Dillian, but I would think he wants the fight. I don't know his psyche. Let's let Alexander Usyk fight Anthony Joshua, which is contracted, and let's get Fury to fight Whyte. That is up to Tyson. I mean, at the end of the day, if the fight is a week later or 2 weeks, who gives a fuck? March 26th, blah, 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 blah. All right. This is the first of 3 updates on this particular fucking story. And they're literally, I'll cut to the punchline. It's all about this fucking 80-20 split. I start with you, Miguel. 80-20. From my perspective, if I am Eddie Hearn, who doesn't seem to like the 20%, and we will talk about that in a few minutes, dude, let the dude fight. Jesus Christ, you couldn't get him Deontay Wilder. You didn't fight for him then. This is almost ridiculous. The level of screwism that's happening to... Screwism is now a word. Screwism that's happening to Dillian Whyte. Miguel, you're first. The first of many stories on this topic, I might add.
I'm sure. I mean, I think out of principle alone for how much Dillian has been screwed, they can be a little bit more generous. I don't know, maybe 25 or 30. Yeah, 30. 30, see that, bam, that's not too bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can deal with that, because they really, damn, 80-20 is a low ball offer, and not to say that Whyte is some sort of superstar. I get he's not, or even a regular star for that matter. But I mean, for as long as he's been on this carrot on a stick type of deal, I think they're lowballing him by doing the 80-20 or offering the 80-20. Give him 30. I think. I mean, really, is anybody gonna notice that money missing out of their pocket? An extra 10% for him, it won't mean jack shit to anybody else. For Fury or Arum or anybody else, fucking Hearn, they will not even notice it.
Andrew,
I would come in at 15% because he keeps opening his damn mouth. Listen to me. This man is a nobody to American boxing. Tyson Fury is king. Tyson Fury's the one who makes 30-40 million a fight. You don't ruffle his feathers, man. You don't piss this guy off, or they're gonna walk. 20%. And look, first question is, you guys, what is 80-20? What are they what is the purse bid at? What are they taking these numbers from? Like, is he getting
no purse bid? I don't want to jump ahead. I can jump ahead in the stories, but I'm telling you, they keep pushing off the purse bid.
Yeah, see, I think we really need to find out how much is in the pot before we start saying if it's fair or not. Because we got to remember, Dillian Whyte had a title shot against Anthony Joshua, was knocked out. Dillian Whyte was then in another title eliminator that he accepted, nobody else. He accepted against Povetkin, knocked out again. He got the rematch and was gifted his title shot back. I don't think that comes with the raise. That comes with mercy for you. Like, here's your title shot back. You're lucky to make $2 million. Your ass was just fucking knocked out a few months ago. He needs to look in the mirror and remember Povetkin almost ended his career. Like, there was no title shot before he kind of just got gifted into that title shot again, getting the rematch and getting the ranking back. We all know that was kind of BS, man. You get knocked out the way he did. I don't think you deserve a raise by the champion who literally is the face of the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury is king of the division. You don't get a raise from him.
Bam, 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 bam. First time listening to the show, home run shots. I don't have sound effects tonight. It just happens. Let's see what else is going on, shall we? Anthony Joshua will make his trainer announcement when camp begins, says Tommy Hearn. So here are the direct quotes. He's been working hard. Obviously, his trip to America, subsequently training in the UK with various people. Trainers flying in. I think AJ will make an announcement regarding his trainer when camp starts. You think? You think. Hold on. I got a problem right here with this word. You think. So I've kind of scanned the internet because this story has been kind of plaguing us for a little bit of time. Nobody seems to know anything about incoming or outgoing trainers. And now Eddie is like, I think he'll tell everybody, or he won't. Who cares? Come on. I start with you, Andrew. Do you think he'll tell us who's training him?
Yeah, I think.
It's funny. It's a funny story.
It's starting to get long, though. This story is starting to get played out. Anthony Joshua needs to make a decision. And I think the problem here is what we talked about before is not too many trainers want to take a suicide match and make their market go down by saying they can change a guy that's unchangeable. He goes into the rematch and gets knocked out in 4 rounds, looks worse than he did in the first fight. Now you, as a trainer, your market drops down a little. There are not too many guys out there that want to take that responsibility. I think Joshua needs to pick a trainer, back out of the rematch with Usyk, let Usyk fight Fury, and then come back and try to take on the winner later on. Eddie Hearn, I believe, and we'll probably hear it later on, but I believe that's why Eddie kind of keeps throwing the Usyk or AJ versus Fury is going to happen. The AJ versus Fury is going to happen. I believe they at some point they've got to throw their towel in and say, we didn't find a trainer. We can't do the rematch.
Miguel.
Well, I mean, it definitely starting to feel like it's being like dragged out quite a bit. It's going to feel like some sort of gender reveal shit at the very end, where I'd be like, shit, who's going to be his coach?
Hold on. Can we pop a balloon for the trainer?
Yes.
Like Dewey pops out of a balloon or something?
Something.
With the dreads, like dreads fall on the floor and it's,
and like
you
confetti
picked Dewey.
all over the place.
All right, cool.
It should be green, white, and red. Confetti comes out if it's an American, red, white.
Sure.
No. See? And I think we're going to get to that point eventually with this thing. But I kind of suspect, like, here's the thing. From what Andrew was saying, like, in regards to putting a trainer kind of wanting to or not wanting to risk, getting in here because it's kind of a suicide, what's the word, mission, with Anthony Joshua. However, the flip side to that, the high risk, high reward. What if this trainer comes in and does actually accomplish changing Joshua's game plan and ends up beating Usyk? The dude is a made man. However, I'm thinking if the trainer that he's going to end up choosing is probably going to be a trainer that's already well established, who can afford a suicide mission like this. His stock won't drop dramatically because he already has, a staple of fighters, that are already successful. He's like, well, fuck it, I'll throw in AJ and we'll see how that goes. But I think it's going to be a guy who's already well established, someone that may be able to kind of change him around a little bit. But I don't know. I don't sense that trainers are like, ugh, like let's not touch Anthony Joshua because it's pretty much a suicide mission. But I just kind of feel like there's more established trainers are looking at him saying like, okay, well maybe we'll see how it goes because they're kind of already well established. I don't think they're really going to take that bad of a hit if this Anthony Joshua experiment goes downhill.
Hey, while I've got a moment, shout out to Boxing Scene, to Keith Idek and Jake Donovan and the rest of the crew who actually gives you guys the stories you guys all read. Just as a quick shout out. Moving forward, Holly Holm hints at a return of boxing. Cool. That's it. Hey, Eddie Hearn, here we are, 80-20. I don't see a deal being done. Let's just get straight into it and see what Tommy Hearns has to say, shall we? Whatever the final ruling on the split is, the final ruling on the split will proceed, and I don't see a deal being done at 80-20, he told IFL TV. So I see it just going to purse bid. I can't see a deal being agreed that way directly through Top Rank. Therefore, we have to put a value on that fight and bid according. And what the fuck? Therefore, we have to put a value on the fight and bid accordingly, comma. And so do Top Rank, comma, and anybody else that wants to bid, comma. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of commas. Maybe someone else bids crazy for the fight. No, they don't.
And Lee, you see they're giving us the numbers right there, and that's what we needed.
Yeah.
Look they're saying that Dillian Whyte, he gave up on a $5 million purse. Scroll back up a little. You're going to see right there.
5.5.
Whyte also turned down Top Rank's reported initial offer of $5.5 million. You guys, to me that seems absurd. Whyte is not worth $10 million. I'm sorry, that's absurd, and I'm glad they did come down because it was 25% at first, and now they're offering 20. I would drop it again. He keeps fucking playing games. I would come in lower the next time again because he's not worth that much money. Dillian Whyte couldn't make $1 million out of the UK. Bring him over here to America. Have him do a fight and prove his worth because that's where he wants the extra 5 from, is from this side of the pond. They're already offering you 5 from where you come from. You're wanting more money, meaning, because I'm a bigger star over there. No, you're not. No, you're not, and I would go lower.
Miguel.
Andrew, you don't think that the rematch against Povetkin, the way he won, is enough? Like as far as proving goes, I know that was over there, but you don't think that was enough for him to maybe get a little bit more out of this year?
I was happy with the guy getting $2 million, 5.5. That's $3.5 million over what I was thinking they should give him. That's a lot of money, man. But this guy is over. What is he? 34 years old. We're talking about your last shot. And you're turning down $5.5 million?
Million.
That's life-changing. That is life-changing. Now, you're not going to be Floyd fucking Mayweather, but you should be able to ride off into the sunset with $5.5 million.
I wonder what Eddie gets. Let's move forward. Hey, Hearn exploring offers, and here's the other breaking story. The Eddie Hearn, Kambosos, Bob Arum triangle of death between who this dude's gonna fight in what country is almost comical for the last week. George Kambosos and Eddie Hearn, we've had offers in the Middle East for Devin Haney versus Kambosos. All right, so this is our first of 2 or 3 stories on this topic. I start with you, Miguel, our resident expert on It's a Good Scrap. Is Haney Kambosos a good scrap?
Yes, it is. It's 2 of the top lightweights in the world. The number 1 lightweight, and then the closest, second, I guess, because Haney's got himself a WBC belt that's sort of kind of legit, I guess. So yes, absolutely. Like as far as going to be a good fucking scrap, And I mean, I hope this fight gets made. Again, we all want the same thing, right? The best fighting the best. There's a reason the Four Kings were called the Four Kings, and that's because they fought each other. So this is exactly what the fuck you want to see. Hopefully, it gets made. I understand going to the Middle East, the bigger payday, but I mean, really, fuck, an Australian and American? Come on now, like, do it.
Don't worry, I'm going to update that story. There's another offer on the table with Lomachenko, remarkably. Andrew, what about Haney in the Middle East?
They're both excellent fights. I wouldn't mind seeing either one that's put on the table for Kambosos. This is about what Kambosos wants to do, and he's earned the right to make this decision. If I was Kambosos, I'm not going to the Middle East. I don't care how big the purse is. He has a fight. If there's a fight on the table with Lomachenko in Australia, that's the fight you take. Sorry, Eddie Hearn. One thing bad about Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum going back and forth, Eddie Hearn's on the backside of all these arguments. He has nothing to put up an argument against Top Rank. Top Rank holds all the cards. They're the ones that have the better fight. Lomachenko versus Kambosos, I totally agree with Bob Arum, does way more money than Devin Haney versus Kambosos in the Middle East.
I still don't buy Devin Haney anyway, so... I mean, but that's my angst on the topic.
He has legit wins. The Linares and the Diaz, his last two fights made him one of the best lightweights in the world. So it is a good fight, but we're talking a legend. We're talking Kambosos beating the Matrix and the Takeover like that. It's a huge step for Kambosos if he was to get this fight in Australia. It starts off his mega career over there. I don't see Devin Haney winning this if Lomachenko is really offering services in Australia.
It's sort of like Manny Pacquiao, right? When he first beat Barrera, then he started fighting everybody else, all the other Mexican fighters, with Marquez and Morales and shit. It's like, damn, you're knocking off all these fucking dudes right off the bat when you become like, imagine that. Imagine taking the number one lightweight in the division in fucking Lopez, and then Lomachenko afterwards. Holy fuck, that's I don't know what the word is, but like lighting the fire of a fucking potential legacy type of career.
Yes.
All right, let's move forward. Hey, Joe Smith won last weekend. You guys watched the fight. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I don't like Joe Smith. I don't know what it is about Joe Smith. It just could literally be that I don't like white people. And if you're looking at the video going, hey, aren't you whitely? I get it, and actually I'm more Native American Indian, but...
I was going to say, darn it, you took the words out of my mouth.
No!
It's his Native American blood coming out.
It is.
Yes.
It's my grandfather speaking from the grave going, fuck white people. Thanks, Pop. I start with you, Miguel. You watched the fight, so give me what you saw out of Joe Smith.
I might have to. This doesn't happen too frequently, but I might have to quote Timothy Bradley on this one. It felt as though Joe Smith was basically fighting at the level of his competitors, his competition. He did not look like the guy that we saw against Hopkins was not the same dude that we saw the other night. I forgot his opponent's name. Sorry, Gaffard. It just looked like he was maybe just going through the motions. Maybe he was just having an off night. I'm not entirely sure. But the way Gaffard came out, I was thinking, okay, Smith is going to be able to mop the floor with this dude. And he totally would. I mean, eventually, of course, he did get the stoppage. So there's only so much we can say in those regards as far as his performance, because ultimately he gets, not just the victory, but also the stoppage. But, man, he did not look impressive. Like, he really didn't. It just looked like he was very...
Based on what your texts were during the fight, it was pretty... depressing to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the fight and I'm like, when is he gonna kick it up? Because it didn't seem like Gaffard was ready to turn that up another notch to try to take the belt away from Joe Smith. So it just was like, all right, I was expecting Joe Smith at some point to turn it up. It ultimately happened in the ninth, sort of. I mean, if you watch the ending, it kind of looked like Gaffard just kind of threw in the towel. That's kind of what it looked like. It didn't look like it was anything specific that Joe Smith was doing. Yeah, he was probably adding a little bit more pressure on him, but man, it did not seem like, holy shit. Because I kind of feel like he has the championship belt, right? He's a light heavyweight. It's the division that Canelo might potentially, I guess, stay in permanently, or light heavyweight. As a matter of fact, this is the same belt, if I'm not mistaken, that Canelo took from Kovalev. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Smith is kind of playing it safe just so he can keep the belt and have some sort of leverage for a high payday fight for when, Canelo steps up back to 175, or if he does, I suppose. But that's kind of where I sense it. I'm like, okay, he's trying to play it a little too safe. Again, he got the stoppage, so, kudos to that. But it just wasn't impressive, really.
Andre.
Oh, yeah, nothing to add there. Was not an impressive win, and I totally agree. He's playing it safe, looking for one more big shot, and he goes where he goes. Won't be the favorite, but he'll definitely be in the fight. That's about it.
All right, moving forward. Bob's back in the news.
Ooh.
The ball is in Canelo's court on fighting Joe Smith. Really? Really?
Oh.
All right, let's see what he has to say, shall we? The ball's in his court. Well, we just read that, Bob. But that's what I said. Canelo is the biggest attraction in boxing. He's tremendous talent and tremendous fighter. And more or less, he picks his opponents. He also tries to get the best guys. Whoa. Can we rewind what he just said there? Canelo is the biggest attraction. He's a tremendous talent. More or less. How do you... Okay, the only thing I care about this story, because clearly Canelo's doing whatever he's doing, and it's on his way to be heavyweight and probably to fight Usyk. We all know that. More or less. Did he just backhand him, Andrew?
No, I don't think so.
You think he cherry picks his opponents?
No, well, yeah, obviously, yes. Canelo, he did. He cherry picked the super middleweight division. Come on now. There was other bigger fights out there. He cherry picked Kovalev. That's what they all said. That was the weakest link in that division. He went there, grabbed the title, and left. So yeah, Canelo's had a little bit of that. I mean, I'm not holding it against him or nothing. He's still the pound for pound best, but yeah, he's had some fights where he didn't have to probably take that opponent, and he did. I mean, he fought his sparring partner for $25 million, and that's a hand-picked fighter.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Miguel.
That does kind of sound like a little backhanded compliment. I mean, it's just, I get what he's trying to say, but I mean, when you can't necessarily, I mean, I think it's a lot harder to quote unquote cherry pick the division you're going to be in, because the truth comes real fast in the fucking ring. If you're in the wrong weight class because you think it's the easier weight class, that's one thing. Maybe he could have stayed at super or at middleweight longer, or maybe could have totally skipped it and just hopped over to 175 like it did. Because I mean, let's be real. Yes, he went after the weakest link right at 175, but in regards to the 168 division, he beat all the champions. I mean, how it's difficult to say. And yes, he's going to have a couple of these, like keeping busy fights, like, Yildirim, right? We get that, understandably. But it isn't necessarily something that every other fighter hasn't already done. And he cleaned out the fucking super middleweight division, which was not something he really could. I mean, you can control your weight, I guess, but I mean, really, can you go into a weight division and be like, well, this is the weakest weight division, so I'm gonna, mop the floor with everybody here, no matter what the weight division is? Like, no, that it just happens to be in that weight class, and it just so happens that the fighters weren't exactly up to his level. But it does feel like it's a little bit of a backhanded comment. It's almost like he's pretending like everybody else doesn't do that shit,
All right, moving forward. Jake Paul amassed $40 million. I only put this story in for one person. Andrew, how do you feel about Jake Paul making $40 million in boxing?
That's fine with me as long as he keeps knocking out MMA guys. I'm all right with Jake Paul. He's doing his thing over there. He's not really in professional boxing. He's more in the MMA boxing world. So until he fights a real boxer, then I would probably going to say Jake Paul's going to get his ass kicked. But no, I like what he's doing.
Miguel.
I mean, not a penny came from me, so whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. Shout out to VIPfrontrow.net.
Seriously, he probably got that number off the Espinosa calculator, Lee. Fuck
that is
number.
Way Espinosa calculator. Oscar Valdez, Shakur Stevens, April 30th. I turn to our scrap expert, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Is it a scrap?
You best believe it. You best believe it. I mean, even if Stevenson is gonna, try to be as technical as possibly can be and back up, I don't see him backing up too much in this one. But Valdez is gonna come forward. We know he's gonna come forward. He's gonna come throwing that left hook that he's got. So 100%, this is gonna be a great scrap. I absolutely look forward to it.
Man, do I make my return to Vegas? I don't know. You guys.
Oh, enticing.
This might wake up the monster here, man. These are the fights that get me excited right here. This is one. This is one you can't miss.
Don't worry,
people.
they'll get the AIDS, and this fight will never go down.
Oh, don't jinx it.
I know, Lee.
All right, Andrew. Tell me why you're fired up for this one.
Well, it's two of the best in the division, best in the world, undefeated, both champions. Lee, there's everything. This is what boxing is about.
In their prime. Yes. In their prime.
This is what you want to go see. There's no ducking here. Like they said, there's no more duck season. Is that what Stevenson's been saying all week? So, yeah, this might even bring me on a plane.
I don't know. You guys just sort of ended there like you had a thing and it hung there in the air and nobody jumped on it, Andrew. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I should move forward.
I'm sorry. Did you hear me?
Yeah, no, we heard you. Francis Ngannou. I do believe Tyson Fury fight will eventually happen. Well, if you don't know, Francis Ngannou won last night in what I can only describe as a grappling match. And for a guy to see a double underhook actually rule a fight, I loved every minute of it. Jesus Christ. I love it when there's double underhooking. So now he's done with his contract. I start with you, Miguel, our resident MMA expert. Do you think we will see a Francis Ngannou-Tyson Fury fight?
I'm on the fence. Because I do feel like, by the way, at the end of the fight yesterday with Ngannou winning, usually in championship fights, which happened also in the co-main event because there was a co-main event title fight, once the winner is announced, usually it's Dana White that has the belt and actually puts the belt on the champion. Dana White was not there when Ngannou won. And as a matter of fact, during the press conference, he didn't go anyway. Dana White, I'm saying, he was also, conspicuous by his absence. So I kind of feel like when I see that shit, I'm thinking, okay, Dana White's gonna have, he's got, when he got grudges with people, like that's it. Like he kicks them out the fucking, out the door.
Yeah,
and
he didn't put the belt on him even.
He didn't put the belt on him. He didn't go to the press conference. It seemed as though he was pretty fucking pissed that he ended up winning. Because why? Chances are, Ngannou is going to end up leaving with more leverage now than the fact that he ended up winning.
He's going full CM Punk.
He's going to go full CM Punk, blow the kiss with the belt out the fucking door. And maybe, I don't know if a Tyson Fury fight is going to take place, but I do anticipate Ngannou making the jump to boxing to some degree with a nice payday. I don't know if it's going to be fucking Fury. I don't know if he would jump in the ring with anybody else other than Fury. But nonetheless, that's kind of the impression that I got. Because if Dana White was there, I would kind of feel like, okay, they kind of, smooth things over. They kind of kissed and made up. And, Ngannou is going to probably re-sign with the UFC or something along those lines. But the fact that he wasn't there, hell, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Dana White isn't exactly a Tyron Woodley fan. But when Woodley won, his fights, Dana White was there. He put the belt on him. He congratulated him. He did the professional thing, right? Because he was still on a contract, of course. He didn't do that with Ngannou. I get the impression that things are really going to have gotten really sour and Ngannou's out the door. Whether or not it's against Fury next, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be boxing to some extent. But man, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of biting my nails. I want to see what's going to happen next.
Andrew.
If Ngannou was smart, he leaves the UFC, comes to boxing, but he does not try to fight Tyson Fury right away. Mm-hmm. Sign a contract with Top Rank. Get yourself some fights against opponents that you have a shot against. I'm not going to say he wins outright because I really don't know what his skills are in the ring. He does not deserve Tyson, and I'm going to tell you why, you guys. He's not a boxer, and he's not in Tyson Fury's level. Tyson Fury made $30 million in his last fight. Ngannou last night took home $600,000.
Yep.
These are not the same men, okay? And so he needs to prove himself. Now, if this was in the octagon, so be it. Whatever he gets for the payday, that's what he gets. In boxing, we cannot allow these men to come into the sport and just make 5 million, 10 million because, the UFC is so popular. I'm going to tell you what, UFC, you're not popular. Last night, your whole fucking card was $1.8 million. Fucking Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder made 40 and 20 million, 30 and 20 million in their last fight. Okay, you guys, we are not the same. It is not the same sport. Your sport's broke. My sport's rich. Just, it is what it is, man. Dana White can't make the fight because he doesn't have the fucking money. He doesn't have 30 million to drop in one night. And if he did, he's scared to put it there. So I don't care which one it is. They're not the same people. If he wants to come to boxing, start at the bottom and work your way up or go home.
Woof. Woof. Strong words. Junior Dos Santos, confident he'll beat Pulev. All right, so the reason I brought this story up, do you know what they're actually using to sell tickets to this fight? Does anyone know besides me? If you're sitting at home going, what are they doing? Because I don't think I want to watch that. You're right. You don't want to watch this. So they didn't get Metallica this time. Does anyone know what band they got to actually fill seats? No, actually, it was a good draw. I think it's in Texas or something, right? This one's in wherever. It doesn't say, but I think
some Indian reservation that allows it or some shit.
Okay, so do you guys think it's rock or rap, or are you ready for this? Jason Aldean is the featured attraction for Dos Santos versus Pulev. Now,
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
As a country fan, yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is that an actor?
It's country. It's country. It's country. And the guy does play stadiums in the South, for God's sakes. It's a shit show. I don't
because none of it just seems like the four fighters that are carrying this thing, who is it? Dawson versus
they're all
Belfort,
and
Pulev versus this, Dos Santos. Decent names, but do any of those guys sell tickets in the South?
No.
Ooh,
Look at the Mexican. That'll be fun. When's Jason on? It's no different than putting Metallica on in New Orleans. Look at those guys beating each other up. When's Metallica on? Yeah, right. Same white people. You guys know your audience. Miguel, would you like to add anything to my very racially insensitive comments?
No, I'm not going to touch that one.
All right, good call. Hey, just a shout out because we have a long relationship. Congratulations to Roy Jones Jr. Boxing. Yeah. Those are our friends in Vegas, along with Roy Jones. They extended their agreement with UFC Fight Pass. They do a really good job with up-and-comers and occasionally a couple of good cards. We have a great relationship with them. So Keith and everybody that's involved with Roy Jones, including Roy Jones, congratulations on the extension of your contract. All right, Miguel. Sor Rungvisai Quadros 5. I don't even know what fight we're on with these guys. I feel like they've fought like 15 times already. And on February 5th, they're doing it again. So they moved from one part of Arizona to a different part of Arizona. I'm just saying that because if you bought tickets, it's now at the new Now Footprint Center. Who calls a fucking venue?
What the hell?
The Now Footprint Center. I think I'm more stuck on the name of the venue being the Now Footprint Center. I don't think
wasn't it Candlestick or something at one time?
No, it was also in Arizona somewhere. They originally this is fucking DAZN. I mean, what a fucking horseshit thing. Again, wrong place. Should have been LA, should have been Vegas, but whatever. You think it'll affect sales, Miguel?
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. It's just like.
And how many times have they actually fought? Actually,
well, they've only fought once. I think
sure?
it's everybody else. Yeah, because it's everybody else. It's like Soren Visai fighting twice with Chocolatito, and then twice with Estrada, and then Estrada twice with Chocolatito. Or
hold on. I've got my Espinosa calculator.
So it's everybody else fighting each other. But as far as like
that's
Soren
like 26
Visai
fights they've had already.
It's a ton of fucking fights between all of them. But specifically, Soren Visai and Quadros just once back in 15 or 14, something like that, 2014. 2014. And this is a rematch. This is the second one. So I don't get what's the attraction with Arizona, because I mean, is it just a DAZN thing?
Neither of the it's DAZN. They've got some hard on for Arizona.
I don't know. It makes it like, isn't that where fucking also Beefy and was supposed to be at?
Right. He must be getting venues for nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell the deal is, but I mean, it's a bad idea. It's like, why the fuck you might as well go to fucking, I don't know, Des Moines, Iowa or some shit that like nobody has any.
Well, that's no. Get that right. That's PBC, and they like to use Lancaster and Bob likes Fresno for his fucked up fights. There's plenty of.
DAZN took Mikey Garcia to Fresno. The guy fights, he's out of LA, and they take him to Fresno, and then he loses. It's fucking, Eddie Hearn don't know what he's doing. I'm very, very nervous about Eddie Hearn.
Well, he doesn't know. In Eddie Hearn's mind, it's in the United States. No, bro, it's not just in the United States.
They're just flinging darts at a map at this point.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. That's how they have their meetings. Hey, Fury White purse bid once again delayed. And by the way, we have another update on the delay further down, because this is our key story, and I'll go back to it, the Dillian Whyte story, getting screwed. All right, so this is the first of many delays. First of all, if it's your first time listening to Fight Net Radio, let me just say, fuck the WBC and playing ball with both. Clearly, they are playing with Eddie and Bob and doing whatever horseshit they're doing. And the only person getting screwed in this whole thing is Dillian Whyte. And I'm going to champion this poor guy until I drop dead. Because he got screwed with Deontay. He's getting screwed with Tyson. I just really legit, Andrew, get the feeling this fight's not going to happen. And Dillian, once again, is going to get screwed.
It's possible, but with the numbers coming out that I've actually seen where he turned down $5.5 million,
fuck him.
That story might change to Dillian Whyte's just a dumbass.
I don't think he gets the choice. What if it's Tommy Hearns?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte has to say if he's going to fight or not. Because Eddie gets paid either way, right?
Unless you're owned like chattel. By the way, a good word, chattel. I don't know. I really don't know. But this
34 years old. 34 years old, been knocked out twice. Once for a title shot, once for a title eliminator. Knocked out both times. Offered $5.5 million to fight the King, where you're going to be a 7-1, 8-1 underdog.
Probably
$5.5 million.
I'd put him at 10-1.
You're not even in the odds. He's not in the odds. Come on, we all know Tyson Fury is going to wipe the fucking mat with Dillian Whyte. It's not going to be that great of a fight. Dillian Whyte does not have the boxing skills of Tyson Fury. Doesn't have the head movement. Doesn't have the chin. It's a no contest, man. Tyson Fury's the favorite in the fight. He's going to be a favorite big time, and they're giving you $5.5 million just to enter the ring. I don't know. I can't see a sweeter deal than that.
Miguel Antonio Barragan.
Well, what was the question? Rather than the fight,
I don't know whether or not. Yeah, I think that's really the bigger. I think that's the bigger question here.
Yeah, I think that's the focus of this article at least. Damn it, man. You know, the hopeless romantic in me is like, please let just fucking this be some sort of great ending for White for being, fucked for as long as he has. But and that mentality has brought me to the point where I'm like, okay, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's really gonna happen. When I see this shit happen, I'm like, oh damn it, here we go. So and now I'm starting to doubt it. Really, that was a point where I really did legitimately believe that he was gonna get that title shot. And I mean, if it's not, I don't know, fucking Eddie Hearn fucking him over, or WBC, I should say, or, it's his own mouth now, apparently. So, damn it, it's starting to look like it's a no. Damn it.
Okay, so here's the bigger question. I start with you, Andrew. Sergio Martinez, Dillian Whyte. Who's getting screwed harder?
Oh, definitely Martinez. Martinez was never offered that type of money to fight Chavez. Yeah, you better believe he would have took $5.5 million to fight Chavez back in the day.
And I don't think Martinez even lost too. Like other than like his earlier losses in his career, when it was his time, I don't think he lost.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all in agreement that our leaderboard is Dillian Whyte, and then everyone. Oh, no, Sergio Martinez, then Dillian Whyte. Yeah. All right,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we're starting our own list, by the way. Moving forward, Bob's back in the news. Oh. If White doesn't fight, we'll get somebody else. Fuck him. All right, Bob, what have you got to say? I think unless an agreement is reached by Dillian Whyte, it'll go to purse bid, all right? Maybe Tuesday, maybe Friday, maybe next month. Who the fuck cares? The WBC decreed that Whyte will get 20% of the purse. The purse is going to bid, yada, yada, yada. I'm always optimistic that the fight will get done before the purse bid, but it's not because Tommy Hearns is a dick. I don't think a purse bid does anybody any good. It costs me more money. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think the party should sit down. There's plenty of money involved. And the dumb motherfucker should take $5 million. I start with you, Andrew. Do you think the dumb motherfucker should take $5.5 million and shut the fuck up?
Yes, and I'm also looking, every time you bring up Bob Arum comments, I'm looking for the racist. Like, we'll just get another black guy. I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. There's Terence Crawford's court. No, I'm not seeing any racism here, but I'm listening for it, Lee. I'm listening real good to try to see where.
I'm trying to find him too, because I jump on it like a cheap suit, like a hobo on a hot dog, as they say. Miguel, should he shut the fuck up and take 5.5 per Bob?
Yes, ultimately yes. Lee, do me a favor, scroll down a little bit. Did I see somewhere in this article here, all right, stop there. At the very top, it says something about 45% there. Is that what they're asking? What the fuck? Like, scroll a little bit, just a tad bit more, up. All right, right there.
Oh, 45%.
What the shit? Why?
Listen, the dumb son of a bitch wants 45%.
Come the fuck on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is like Steve Austin type shit. What?
Yeah.
Could you imagine we go back to Bob Arum doing the what kind of bullshit of did you just say you wanted 45%? You dumb man. I mean,
I honestly think he got racist when that came out. I wasn't in the room, but I think he was dropping some big time comments when they said,
I literally was going to give you that audio for you, Andrew, and even I can't lower myself to, what did that beep just say?
Who does that beep think he is?
Yeah, right, right?
That's all. Oh, man. 45. Yeah.
What a week.
All right.
What a week for Bob. Wait, more Bob news.
Oh.
Kambosos, he should fight Lomachenko in Australia. That's what I think. We're talking to Kambosos people about going to Australia, which is, Loma's going to do it. He doesn't care. We've been keeping him as a kept person in Oxnard for the last couple of years with the MTK, along with our human trafficking plan. It would be a huge fight in Australia, but we have COVID, and we have a blimp. All right, we got to put him in a bubble, in a blimp, and we got to fly him over. We got to start now. It's going to take like 3 months to get him there. It's his first choice, but is it Tommy Hearns' first choice? All right, new fight on the table. Anybody think this? Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
Before you go into that, you gave another one to Crawford. You're giving Crawford all the ammo he needs. Human trafficking, the fight for the green card, man.
Oh, yeah, we've been doing that one for years.
Bob Arum is racist. All right, I'm in.
Have you seen half those MTK fighters after they've lost a fight? I have not. I'm just saying it out loud. Somebody's got to go to Oxnard and figure out the relationship between an Orange County car dealership, an Oxnard training camp, and the MTK. I'm just saying it to the feds. If you're listening, you might want to look into it. Andrew,
yes.
Which of these Kambosos fights do you think is actually going to happen?
It's going to be Lomachenko if he's there. I'm sorry. He's the older fighter. He gives him the better resume. Devin Haney's a great fight, still unknown to a lot of the people out there in Australia. I don't think, or even in Saudi Arabia. I just don't think that fight, that money would be coming from one man. It wouldn't be coming from a lot of people out there. So no, it's Kambosos. So it's Kambosos versus Lomachenko if it's on the table.
Miguel Antonio Barragon.
Yeah, 100. I mean, just the name alone going
Are you thirsty for this fight?
Yes, that would be.
Wait, did you think I was going to let that go this week?
I thought you had already forgot about it by this point.
No.
We can have went by. We can have.
I said unanimous 16 fucking years ago. The guy still hasn't let that one go.
Let that one go. It's been a decade. By the way, no short of a decade for you, Mammonis.
Memory of an elephant.
By the way, for those of you who want to keep up on this, and I'm going to bring it up, we made a joke about our producer, Sam Navajero, fighting Cambosos. He actually gave us his terms for this fight, which are just downright hilarious. I mean, listen to this list. Where the fuck? He wants an 80-20 lion's share of the split. Jesus Christ. Like, there's so
Dillian
much
Whyte.
about this. He wants AC/DC to play his coming out music. I mean, hey, shout out to Sam Navajero and his Dillian Whyte-like requests. I mean, that is substantially insane, and good for you. You know what? Shoot high, aim low. That was just, I had to get it in. Fury White! Hearn feels like the March date is starting to look unrealistic. All right, as we continue our story, yes, from the cover story of the book, of the thing I posted earlier in the day. All right, Tommy Hearns is already not into it. Let's see what he has to say later on in the week. People keep talking about March dates. That's starting to look very unrealistic. I mean, let's be really honest. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I mean, we haven't even... Either March, maybe April, maybe May. Who the fuck cares? Who knows? I mean, he does such a great job on my plantation. Why would I really get involved? You're talking about a lot of money, a difference of 25% in this dispute. Yeah, we are. The normal split for a mandatory challenger is a lot more than 80-20. The normal split for an interim champion is 45%. We feel in terms of commercial value of Dillian Whyte and the time he has waited, 80-20 is quite ridiculous, really. It looks like Dillian Whyte will definitely get his shot at the WBC title, probably after I'm dead. But we have to fight for the rights and make sure that it's fair. It's not going to stand in the way of the fight. You're such a liar. So I guess that's my question, Andrew. Is Tommy Hearn a liar?
Yes. I don't think he has any control over this. He's trying, like you guys have been saying, they're trying to get a few extra dollars out of this, but ultimately it's going to hurt his fighter more than help him out. If I was Dillian, I would put my foot down and just ask for the payday.
$5,
and
please let me have $5, please.
And why can't there be like some confidence in your skills? You know, hey, I'm going to knock him out and make fucking 50 more on the rematch.
How about winner takes all? If you're so confident, winner takes all. I'd like to see the first really arrogant fighter to step up and go, I'll go 100% purse bid. Winner take all.
Well, I do have a story. Back in the day, the rematch versus Hopkins and Roy Jones. I believe Roy Jones signed a contract saying he only wanted the pay-per-view money. And they sold like 10 pay-per-views that day. And so it was a very bad payday for Roy Jones. Bernard Hopkins was guaranteed, I believe, $8 million for that fight.
Miguel, how do you feel about this fight now actually happening?
Well, I mean, I thought like they had it when they initially asked for that 45%. I thought they kind of were like already past that, like, yes, granted they didn't want the 20%, but they weren't, the fact that number keeps coming up, it's like, okay, hold the front door.
Where did you get that number?
Yeah, and then like the fact that they're still going on with it, it's just like they really legitimately think White deserves something like that. Let's meet in the middle. Let's do 30. Let's just fucking 30. Like, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, fuck it, let's do that. Yes, he should probably be satisfied with the 20, but I mean, if he can get a little bit more, why not? But I mean, damn, I don't know, that 45, the fact that they keep bringing that shit up, it's like, all right, enough of that.
Wait, hold on.
And how about this?
Wait, there's somebody knocking at the door. Hold on.
Okay.
Who is it? It's Triller, and they're promising Snoop Dogg, a rapper to be named later, and Metallica. All right, I just go for the joke. I wish I had like a Snoop drop right there going na 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 na, kind of thing. And I really see like a Triller stepping in and doing something stupid here.
But okay,
it's open. It's going to be an open purse bid. I don't want to jump ahead in all the stories.
What I was going to say is, if they piss Tyson Fury off, he doesn't need the title. Look, Tyson has all the titles. If he gives up that belt, what the hell is Dillian Whyte going to make fighting the number 3 contender for a vacant shot? Is it going to be $5.5 million, or now are they both only going to make $1 million because nobody can sell a ticket?
Well, that takes us to what happened on Friday. You guys have till January 26th. First of all, I'm impressed with the WBC putting down their foot because they have no balls. Yeah, if it goes to open purse, could you imagine Oscar stepping in drunkenly going, 100 million, fuck it. What did you
He's been quiet. That's one guy who's been quiet for a while.
He's got no money, and he's probably in rehab, allegedly. All right, so do we think that a deal's going to be reached in the next 3 days, Miguel?
No. Well, first off, when was this?
This is Friday.
This is Friday? Oh, fuck no. No fucking way.
Today's the 23rd, and they've got until the 26th, which they'll extend again because the WBC really doesn't have any balls. But I just thought I would love
They only get
to see
paid
it.
when the fighters are paid, and Tyson Fury is one of the richest, so they're going to do what he wants because their money depends on him holding that title.
There you go. Let's move forward onto a completely different subject. Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire rematch in negotiation for April in Japan. If you're wondering, can that be done? Well, let's ask Gennady Golovkin. Gennady, what do you think? No. There you go. Because of COVID, I don't ever see this fucking fight happening. I would love to see it. It's got to be done in the States, but what the fuck do I know? I start with you this time, Miguel. Yes, we know it's a good scrap. We all agree on that. The question is, do you really think in an Omicron universe that we're going to get a fight in April in Japan?
No, that does seem a little too close. I mean, clearly they're banking on stuff getting better by then and clearing up by then to the point where they can, get flights in and out of Japan. But no, I mean, it's already, we're already damn near in February. It seems like it's too close. I mean, I think if they wanted to play it safe, I'd say May, June-ish would probably be, it's a little bit more of a realistic timeline, but now April just seems a little bit too soon. The AIDS is going to, rear its ugly head here somewhere.
I'm pretty sure. Andrew Labouche, what do you think? Do you think we get a fight in April for the fight that actually, I'd pay money for this. I got to be honest. I would
pay money, but everything's up in the air. There's no guarantees for a fight in Japan. No, sir.
Yep. That's the problem. The minute they said Japan, I went, non-story, nice. Hey, Ryan Garcia's back. Ryan Garcia, I don't have to read his quotes, which are all fucking ridiculous. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to fight them all in 2022, and he wants to start like in 3 weeks. Like that's literally, he wants to start April 2nd. He wants 3 fights. He's named all the top people in his division. No sign of Oscar at all. I'm going to make a bold prediction, and that's actually what the story is. My prediction, Ryan Garcia fights nobody in 2022 and just keeps making YouTube videos with whatever Paul brother he keeps making them with. I start with you, Andrew. Do we see Ryan Garcia fight in 2022?
Yes, and it probably won't be with the 3 opponents that he named.
It's literally the top 3. He's fighting. He wants to fight like in order. I want to take them out all in 2022, and I want their belts and $1 billion. Good for you, dick. First of all, he's an asshole. I mean, I let this whole... Hold on, let me turn the camera on so I can look at it. Ryan, if you're watching this, you're a dick. I mean, seriously. You claim mental health issues. You do this, you do that. Who have you fucking fought? Shut the fuck up and fight somebody. I mean, I gotta be serious at this point. I mean, I get it. My job is to be the funny haha guy, but seriously, in the annals of boxing, if you dropped off the face of boxing right now, you will be completely forgotten because you fought nobody. Now, Andrew, am I wrong?
No, that's true. He was hot for a while, but the division is passing him up. Not only did they catch up to him, they started passing him up. Kambosos being the leader, Devin Haney being second. So they're all coming for him. He needs to just get back in the ring. I like the first, they were talking about the Isaac Cruz, the young man that fought Gervonta Davis the other day and had a good showing against him. Was a decent fight, a comeback fight for Garcia if they happen, but I don't think that I think Cruz turned down the fight. So they just need to get him back in the ring. I do agree he does seem a little delusional like his boss, and I think that's why their two are still working together.
Cocaine.
I think
Cocaine.
everything
Cocaine.
that tells them.
There's a lot of cocaine in there, allegedly.
Yeah.
Miguel Antonio Barragan, do you agree, disagree, or do you even think that he will fight in 2022?
Yeah, I mean, we're barely in January, right? Going into February, so there's plenty of year left. It'd be pretty naive to say that, like, no, he's probably going to be out the whole fucking year. Like, no, of course he's coming back. I don't think, what was he saying, April, I think it was? I don't think it's going to be
his
April.
First fight of his triple header of the entire division. Like, the articles are all jokes. I mean, I'm not even giving him time because they're all fucking comical. Tommy Hearns isn't going to play ball. Bob's not going to play ball. Yeah. PBC's not going to play ball. So it's whatever Oscar can scrape off the barrel bottom to keep this guy afloat. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just like kind of keep your name in the fucking spotlight, try to keep your name somewhere in the headlines and get in the ring. Because it's not like we don't want to see him fight. We do want to see him fight, and we want to see him fight the top dudes. But he's been out such a long time. I mean, Lopez, right, was out for a solid fucking time, and during that time, we had fights, guys like Ryan fighting, and now it's the opposite. And now we got Cambosos as a champ, as the number one dude, and he's already talking about his next fight, and Ryan is barely coming back now. So, I would love for him to fight Cruz. Honestly, that would have been a fucking pretty dope ass fight. I would have been down with that one. Seeing him coming off that fight, it made a very good accounting for himself against Gervonta, and he's still somewhat of a high profile name. He just fought Gervonta, so why not? That would have been a pretty fucking solid fight. But man, I don't know. He's gonna fight again, yes, of course, in 2022.
Are you sure?
But
are you sure?
I mean, maybe not April.
Or should we bet?
I
feel a Fight Net Radio bet coming on here. I feel maybe one fight. I'm going to put the plus minus for all of you playing along at home for the drinking game. I'm going to put it at 1.5 fights in 2022. Miguel, do you take the overs or unders?
What's a half a fight?
Well, that way we don't have a tie.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. You know what? There's plenty of year. I'm going to say over.
Ooh, I like where you're going with it. Andrew Labouche.
Yeah, I'll say over. It's just not the opponents that he was naming. And then I like your angle too. They're all going to blackball him right now because he's a little too dangerous and he's not affiliated with any of the other big guys promoters. He's kind of the ugly duckling, the black sheep, being with Golden Boy and Oscar. The relationship that Oscar is building with Top Rank and DAZN, doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Every time Oscar opens up his mouth about Canelo, I see DAZN just stepping further away from him because Canelo is going to make that happen. So, Ryan, he's going to be in a tough situation here. So, yeah, I will say over, but not the opponents that he's picking.
There you go. Hey, this weekend coming up. Is it this weekend or it's this weekend, right? This goddamn pay-per-view with Thurman and Barrios.
Is it this weekend? No.
What day it is? It's coming up.
It's the 5th, right?
Yeah, it's the 5th.
It's next weekend. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right, yeah.
We're 2 weeks away.
Is 29, 2 weeks away, yeah.
$75.
What the hell? I had not seen the price.
This is the funniest shit by the PBC yet. And of course, for those of you, it's your first time going, oh, that seems unreasonable. Wait, it gets better. They're not going to tell us how many pay-per-views they sold because people are guaranteed money. This is why you got to watch the video for me to see air quotes because they don't convey well on audio. But motherfucker, are you kidding me? Keith one-time Thurman, who is one time out of the business, and Barrios for $75? Is there something on this card that I completely missed? Like, I don't even know what to say about this. You got Santa Cruz fighting Carbajal and not Mikey Carbajal, which I would find far more appealing than Keenan Carbajal. In fact, I would find it a lot more appealing than Keenan Carbajal. And by the way, yes, that was me talking boxing for those of you who don't know that I know a little boxing history. And also,
maybe they could say they're related. I don't know.
I think they are
from
related.
Rosemead. You know
I
what?
think they actually are related, but like some sort of distant nephew or some shit. Like there's some sort of relation there. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I go back home to Montebello to go visit the family, I will go to Rosemead, next city over. Yeah, shout out to Rosemead. What a shithole. I'll do some investigation on Keenan and Abel Ramos of Casa Grande, Arizona. why do you announce where he's from? Like, that's a big deal. Against Josecito Lopez, who I didn't even know was still in boxing. And you want $75. Al Heyman, you are fucking nuts. Well, let me write that title down. Al Heyman, you are fucking nuts. Okay, Miguel, let's start with you. Al Heyman, fucking nuts.
Yeah, like if I'm not mistaken, the Luis Ortiz pay-per-view recently was like $40. That seems still, a little bit too high, but I mean, sort of more reasonable.
1995. 1995.
There you go. Bam. 1995.
I'll
Perfect.
pay
With
it
a
all
free
day.
replay. And a free replay, like back in the day when they had, viewers' choice on
And
pay-per-view.
access to the library. I want access to the library.
Yeah, something, shit, because, who else is on this card? Josecito, I think, wasn't Santa Cruz, isn't Leo Santa Cruz on the card as well against somebody else?
This is Luis Neri. Oh, my God.
Luis Neri's back. Okay, see, well, I mean,
Carlos
Star
Castro
Power,
against
Jesus
Luis
Christ.
Neri. I mean, this is just... It's in L.A. I mean, they put it in Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, for L.A.,
There you go, see?
it's a good...
No,
but
I'm
still,
telling
though,
you,
$75.
Al Heyman thinks Mexicans will purchase anything. I'm dead serious. He's loading these cards up with Mexicans, and he acts like, Gervonta Davis fights Pitbull. Put him on pay-per-view. His name's Isaac Cruz. He's from Mexico. They're all going to buy it. Like, that's the mindset that they're in right now, and it's just not working. Look, this fight has been laughed at many times. I don't see it even going through. I think they're going to replace Barrios at the very end like they did with the Gervonta Davis matchup because, both guys are going to be guaranteed money that's supposed to be coming off of the pay-per-view. Once they see these pay-per-view numbers aren't coming in, they usually make the switch on one of the main opponents because they can't afford it. I don't even know if it's a rumor anymore that the PBC is hurting for money. This is why everything's a pay-per-view now. This is why the pay-per-views are so expensive. And it's just not working. Espinoza's saying they're selling tickets, but when you actually look at the boxing world on social media, you don't see anyone purchasing this thing. You don't see it being streamed. You don't see it going viral. Like it's Jake Paul goes more viral than all the PBC shit put together. So it's coming to an end. We'll see how it plays out. But I think Barrios is going to get replaced at the end.
Well, I'll tell you why this is even. I mean, it's just there's so many layers to this. There's a story I left out about Keith Thurman saying Barrios was the toughest opponent out there. What?
He's a joke.
Like,
Keith
I
Thurman's always been a
didn't
joke,
even
though.
have to read the article because I was already pissed off as I was pulling articles for this week going, that one will set me off. I mean, it'll set Andrew off. I mean, but seriously, you're trying to sell me Barrios as the toughest guy out there for you? Yeah, then your skill level sucks, bro. Your skill level straight up sucks.
Thurman was full of himself when he started saying how he started looking at prospects like he looks like a younger me, He looks like he was some legend already. The guy won one title and acted like he fucking everything had been accomplished that he needed in the boxing world. It's just really sad. But Thurman, he's a nobody. It sounds like he's a nobody when you look at the chat rooms on this fight. So no, I don't see it going off.
Miguel.
The last time Thurman had some time off, he came back and tried to fight somebody who's a lesser opponent, right? Somebody who's not as powerful a puncher, and Josecito Lopez, and Lopez damn near knocked him the fuck out. So yeah. I would love to see Barrios
to a skill level.
Maybe that's one theory. But I would love to see Barrios, fucking knock Thurman out. I love to see that. At this point, it's like I'm over the Thurman, I guess, era, if you want to call it that. But I don't know if I'd call it
Thurman.
Because he unified belts at one point. He was kind of the man before shit went to hell, and Spence became the man at 147. So for a split second, call it albeit very short, it was kind of his division for a little bit, very very briefly before Spence emerged. But damn it, man!
You want to know how far back that was? That's when the PBC had sort of the WWE ring entry.
That's right. Because
Right? They had that little tube that they'd walk
Yes.
through in the big screen, and they had like 500 people working commentator,
Or
and
like
they were all
fireworks or something.
Yeah.
That was,
and Miguel, we should word that as he was the man of the welterweight division for the PBC stable. He was not the man of the welterweight division. He never fought Terence Crawford, right?
Right.
You don't fight Terence Crawford, you ain't shit. Crawford beat the man. I know the PBC don't acknowledge it because they think they at this time they're in their own little world and they have their own little fan base and all this shit. Remember, you guys, this is a fucking company that didn't even put other fighters in their pound for pound rankings, in their top 10 rankings.
Yeah.
It was only PBC guys. So he was for a slight second the man of the PBC. That's it. He's a nobody anywhere else.
There you go. Let's move on and start to clean this bad boy up with a few quick hits. First one, nobody knows Haney in Australia. That's just funny. I just want to read his quotes because it's fucking hilarious. We're talking to Lou and Peter and Bob and Ralph and somebody else, and we're optimistic because we got good contacts inside Australia. In fact, we got people inside. COVID is in the way, but I think it will be okay. Who the fuck is he talking? Who's Lou and Peter? I mean, what the? Truth be told, nobody knows Devin Haney in Australia. I've asked around. I personally flew to Australia, and I asked 100 people, and 100 people went, who the fuck is Devin Haney? So I'm here to say, you're going to fight Lomachenko, and you should take 20% as well as the champion. I just think it's funny that Bob is like, I got people. He names people like you should just know inside of, Cambosos' group. Like he names them like Cambosos. First of all, nobody knows Cambosos really outside of Australia. And naming people in his camp blindly is even funnier, like you're having these high-level talks. We all agree on this show, as I move forward, Bob, you're funny. You are my favorite person ever. Moving forward.
I hate that he's 96, man.
I do too. I'm going to miss him. And speaking of 96, Don King.
Whoa.
This is my favorite. Trevor Bryan. Yes, if you're going, who the fuck is Trevor Bryan? We don't know either. Okay? He's ready to fight everybody, per Don King. So Bob King, Don King, now they're two people. Don King.
This is that.
Don King literally is like Bob Arum, except with Alzheimer's. He just gets up on a stand and Trevor Bryan is ready.
Hey, Lee, you know what he's doing? No. He's putting it out there for Tyson Fury in that 3-day date. Hey, you don't get a date with him? I got this guy that'll fight you right now. He'll take fucking $2 million. I'll take $1.5 million from him. We'll call it good.
I think he'll take $1.50 and a bus token at this point. I mean, look at this guy.
He'll get like the Costco $1.50 meals.
No, seriously, if the picture of that man was standing on a corner holding a sign saying, my fighter will work your fight for like food, like I'm not going to be shocked by it at this point. I mean, Don King, God bless you. I don't even know how.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Bob called him and said, do you have someone? I really wouldn't, because that's what Tyson Fury is going to be fighting if Dillian Whyte don't take this bid. I see them picking up somebody, Schultz, or who did he fight the other? Wallin.
Whatever.
And then the guy before that. I mean, all these guys were obscure fighters, came out of nowhere. Hey, Don King was like, what the fuck?
Listen, Andrew, Trevor Bryan is the regular WBA champion.
There you go.
What did you just say, old man? I mean, seriously, that's almost as fun. Oh, well.
And he had to win over Stervine. So, give him that, and he might get a shot. And Yes.
And anybody who knows those two names, you probably know the left tackle for your football team. I mean, this is deep cut boxing right here happening. Floyd Mayweather nears the finish line. He's going to actually have a race team.
What?
Floyd doesn't know how to spend all his money, so now he's going to have his own NASCAR race team at the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked the right sport here. It'd be some Ricky Bobby.
I don't even want to read the story. I just really got to believe that he's standing there going, if you're first, you're losing. Come on, Ricky. Oh, so great.
He's going to be like, why does everyone keep slingshotting past my guy?
Oh,
Then keep putting his ass in the wall. Hey, you want to build another car? Bam! Hey, build another one. Bam! Then keep putting them in the wall. I don't know if he did the right move there.
My favorite part of today, Bob Arum has already moved back to Deontay Wilder. Top-ranked promoter Bob Arum has proposed that Jared, big baby, small baby, which baby, who cares? That baby, Anderson, is prepared to fight Deontay Wilder. Wilder's a terrific talent. It was great that he got fucking knocked out. He hits like a mule. Pretty much anybody in the heavyweight division would lose to Wilder, except my guys. The one guy who will get equipped to beat him by the end of this year is Anderson. I would be prepared to just... Nobody's talking to you about this, Bob. Like, I like the fact that you're floating it. What channel did you put this on? Sky Sports. He's just floating it. Bob's great. Listen, I got this guy named Anderson, and this is almost equal to Don King, which is why I did the Bob King thing here. This is a Bob King type thing. Hey, I got a guy, and he'll fight Deontay. Sure. Does anybody think that big baby, small baby, which baby is even worth the discussion here? I start with you, Miguel.
I mean, yeah, we kind of called it some time ago. This is supposed to be the replacement, right? Eventually, when Fury calls it a career,
is he a baby or a big baby or a small baby?
He's one of the real big baby.
He's the real big baby.
But this is what I don't get. Is he the real big baby or he's a real big baby?
You realize if we get this wrong, somebody...
We need a comma in there somewhere.
We're now go ahead and put it in the comment field below the video and knock yourself out.
Yeah. We need a comma in his nickname somewhere.
I'm so over.
But I mean, at this point, I mean, I think Arum would love to add another tally to the top rank, score over PBC guys.
Well, he hits like a mule.
Throw Anderson in there. Why not?
That'd be great. What do you think, Andrew? Does he hit like a mule?
He hits like a mule. He's 11-0-11. I don't know if he has the experience to step in with Deontay yet. I know Deontay has a bad chin, bad ear, possibly hurt legs and an arm.
Bad excuses.
But he has experience in big fights, and this would be a very nervous energy for Anderson going into this one with Wilder. I don't think he's ready for Wilder yet. I'd like to at least see him get to 15-0, 17-0, somewhere around there, and then you take a step up on a current champ. At 11-0, Anderson doesn't have a big pedigree in the Olympics or anything like that. It's not like he was a gold medal winner and the guy has just been shining his whole time. So while he has had 11 straight knockouts, the opposition's been real hand-picked, real carefully designed. And so Wilder, I think, is a little bit too much of a step up. Bob's just promoting here.
There you go.
And he did say at the end of 2022, so he's anticipating more fights, of course.
He needs another dozen fights this year, and then he's ready.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
concussion protocols, what are you talking about?
Another dozen fights.
Which takes us to our last story, and these are the fights that happened last night. And hilariously, there are stories after the fight results, which makes this even better. One from Manny Pacquiao and one from Gary Russell. You guys all watched the fight last night, and I'm going to end on the Gary Russell story, so I'll do it as one big mop-up. Mark Magsayo, did I get it right? Magsayo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, definitively mopped the floor with Gary Russell after he hurt his shoulder, air quotes, he did, because he stopped throwing jabs at one point and still limped through the fight. One, it should have been on all three scorecards. The funniest first note, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. First funny note, one judge had it as a complete draw. Wow. Okay, second part of the story is Manny Pacquiao doing the right thing and basically giving him the kiss of the Philippine people, which I love. The third funny note is Gary Russell going, I gave him a boxing lesson. What are you guys talking about? I won that fight. All right. Now we'll turn it over to Andrew, who watched every second of this fight. There's no doubt he won this fight, Andrew.
Yeah, no, this was clearly, Gary Russell, to me, after the fourth round, was fighting more for the bell in each round than he was to win the rounds. Masayo, how do you say his name?
Magsayo.
Magsayo, he won the fight. I thought he could have won it a lot easier if he just would have pressed more. It was just a real, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't, because I didn't know it just looked a little weird. Like the kid wasn't going after him. He was throwing punches. He was landing his shots because one guy basically couldn't lift one of his arms. And so he was winning on points, but I didn't see a lot of fire come out of Magsayo to take it to Russell and really get that belt from him in a good fashion. So it was a boxing match on both sides of the fence. Just one guy was boxing with one arm, the other guy had two, so he wins. He's landing double the shots. And
CompuBox plays that out. They showed it right after the fight.
Yeah, they showed the no jabs. They showed he only threw 50 power shots to the other guy's 130 or 40 power shots. Geez. So it was, that's the story of this fight. What I didn't like was they seemed like they were building up the rematch way too fast. And then the whole Manny Pacquiao, you're the blessing of the Philippines now. It was almost like, I just didn't like it, Lee, because, I know the PBC loves putting on their own shows. I know the PBC loves pay-per-view now. If Gary Russell beats this kid, there's no rematch. With Gary Russell hurting the arm, and then Russell, I hurt my arm in the Olympics in 2008. This is an old injury. Like, come on, man. You've had all these fights, and now all of a sudden
because they brought that up as a note, Andrew. On Thursday or Friday, there is a story where he did mention an injury, but said, I'm not going to say anything until after the fight.
I really think the casino should be mad at him then, because he was a favorite going into this fight, correct? Probably big time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're out there telling people that you're hurt. I wish I would have known that. We should have laid some money on the other guy. But I don't like the setup. And I'm telling you right now, I know this thing's going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be on pay-per-view, and they're going to try to act like this kid is the new Manny Pacquiao, and all the Filipinos are going to have to come out and buy this thing. And I just didn't. The fight wasn't that good to me. I'm not really interested in the rematch. I don't care about the injury or this, whatever happened in that fourth round. I did like how Magsayo said, he got injured because I hit him. Yeah, I hit him. That's why he got injured. He did not let Jim Gray give him the whole, he came into the ring injured. No. I hit him and he got injured.
I injured him.
Yeah.
Miguel, what was your take on the fight?
I do feel, we saw that he injured his arm, right? So we know that that's an injury. It looked legit. He kind of winced right, and for a quick second, he almost took a knee almost. He kind of hunched over. But the draw doesn't seem too crazy because the fight did feel sort of close. The 113, 115, that doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. It's just look what you were saying. What you were saying about Magsayo, it didn't seem like he was coming forward, obviously, but it didn't seem like there was that sense of urgency. Like, let me take the belt from fucking Russell. He was doing if Russell was doing something, Magsayo was doing just a little bit more than that. Like, that is what threw me off. I was like, dude, he's hurt. Fucking go in for the kill. Go in there, dude. Like, he can't keep you off of him because that jab is just not going to work for him. So I was expecting a little bit more from Magsayo, especially after I realized that Russell was hurt. But then when I noticed that that sense of urgency wasn't there, I'm like, these PBC judges, they're going to try to fucking keep the belt on Gary Russell, of course. So when I heard the draw scorecard, I was like, that's I can see why. But I in my book, truthfully, I had it 8-4 for Magsayo. I think it was a little bit more, I think 112, 116 is the scorecard that I had. So for me, Magsayo did win clearly, but he could have done more. That's the part that kind of to take it from the champ, you really have to take it from the champ. And when I heard that 114, I'm like, I'm not surprised at all.
There you go. Hey everybody, go to our page, boxingtonight.io, where you can get episodes of Fight Net Radio. You can also get the news locally on the world of boxing. It's a one-of-a-kind news feed. Whatever the links are below, click, like, subscribe. I'm sure you're thirsty for it. That is Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Sorry, that just made me laugh to say thirsty again in the same show. My name's Lee Honish. We do appreciate all the new listeners and all the new followers and everybody watching the video, and check out our Facebook page. Do all that. We will be back next week with yet more boxing for you all.